prove it. All
Okay,
right.
and
There
yeah,
we go.
Right,
okay.
cool. So now that we've been accepted back as a sandbox project, could we leverage any of the CNCF infra to oh, we did used to
Yes.
use it previously, I think, for the meetings. I forgot what the name was. Although that one was a little bit complicated to use. So I wonder if they have something else that would make these meetings a little bit easier. For example,
Tiago,
yeah.
there is a proper Zoom license that they can give us, and
Ah,
if we
okay.
and not give us, but supply us as part of this.
Yep.
If we we'll need to put a support request in for that, and probably if you look at the other like Naladri when you went to the
Yep.
when you went to the tag storage, they use Zoom. Everyone uses Zoom. So maybe the other tool that you guys used to use just looked awesome, but maybe we should just thunk in and use what everyone else uses, which is Zoom recorded onto YouTube.
Yeah, the other tool was very complicated because I think you had to register for every meeting, and I think the link was always different, so it wasn't always the same link. So it was a bit cumbersome to
Yeah, that was
someone to join.
a big problem for my end the last time, is that we didn't have a recurring invite for the meeting. You had to remember to go in, sign up to the meeting, or else you'd miss it. So if there's any way that we could get a recurring meeting invite with the link, that would be awesome.
Good point.
Yeah, maybe let's sync up with Vishnu. I don't know how he set this one up. Because ideally we should all be able to easily log in to the account, and then at least one of us can start the meetings. I did try to log in, but then it was complaining that I had to be accepted or something because I wasn't the usual. Maybe I wasn't on the usual country, right? If Vishnu is logging in.
Maybe we can move on from this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maintainers and Simon, I've got one issue I wanted to talk through, which is the commercial support on OpenEBS IO. Is it okay if I share my screen and just walk everyone through that?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. And I'll just turn on my video as well. So it's dark where I'm sitting, so okay. All right, so this is an important issue because I am a DataCore employee, and this affects DataCore's presence on our OpenEBS IO website. So OpenEBS obviously is an open source CNCF project, but we do, as along with many other open source projects, we do have a section on there for commercial support, and for people who do want that commercial support. And we've been really purposeful to make sure that the DataCore team who contributes the most to the project, that DataCore is presented alongside other companies as well. In fact, in alphabetical order, so we're not number one on top of the list. But we do need to make sure that list is accurate and that it serves our community well for those who wish to look at commercial support. And so I just reached out to each of the companies just to see if they were actually alive, if they were doing things, if they were responsive. So CodeWave, CloudSky, and DataCore. Of those three, the only people who responded to me is DataCore. And I did this back in July. And then this issue number 76 records the actions I took. I thought I recorded stuff in here. Maybe it's not showing completely, but we recorded in the maintainers meeting, maintainer meeting notes what happened. But I tried for these companies 2 times, one of them 3 times, and there's no response from them. So this meeting here, I just want to introduce that we will consider changing this issue to say we're going to remove these 2 companies from the commercial support section on that website, and maybe give another 2 weeks notice for them to contact us, or for anyone else who wants to be included or wishes to at least voice an opinion that these 2 companies, CodeWave and CloudSky, should stay on the website. And we totally would really want them to be on here as long as they're responsive and are offering commercial support. Anyway, so that's the end of it. That's the thing I just wanted to raise in the community meeting.
That seems reasonable to me.
Cool. Thank you, Simon. Thank you, everyone else. I'll turn my camera off now and I'll pass back to you, Tiago.
Thanks, Ed. Yeah, so I think the next item on the agenda would be to discuss the state of the raw file, I believe. So raw file is a OpenEBS subproject, which has Maren as the subproject maintainer for it. And I think, did someone paste the link?
Yeah.
No, but I can.
I'll
Can
try
you
to
paste the
find
raw
the
file
show
link
and
as well?
yes.
Yeah, so it's basically another implementation of the different implementation of the existing host path. So this one is a CSI driver which uses a file-based approach where it creates a file on a file system, and then it sets it up as a loop device. And it does bring some advantages as compared to the traditional host file that we have. Unfortunately, it is maintained as sort of a separate subproject on OpenEBS, and the current maintainer has not been very responsive. We're still waiting for a few tasks that we had given him, like updating the CI so that it's running. At the moment, it's not running at all. It's missing some documentation, and also that subproject maintainer had considerable changes on his own fork, which he has not upstreamed back to OpenEBS. So have I missed anything so far? I think that's correct, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we just wanted to, I guess, discuss with the community if there's anyone that is using the raw file. Is it important to you? Do you think it's a project that we should keep? Should we try and engage with a subproject maintainer for a bit longer until we get the issues resolved? Or should we also consider at some point dropping it into the OpenEBS archive org? So my thoughts on this is that yes, raw file I think is a good project, and it does solve some of the issues that we have with the other host path driver, which is it means we don't have to use quotas the same weird way we do with the host path, because you're just creating a file on a file system with a certain size. So it gets around some of those issues. Unfortunately, if we can't make progress in tidying up the repo, adding documentation, etc., then it becomes a bit difficult to basically suggest raw file to our community. And at the moment, it is not, although it is part of the OpenEBS project, is not, for example, part of the OpenEBS umbrella Helm chart. So it's still deemed as experimental. But how long is it going to stay experimental for? And is that harming us?
Tiago, maybe what we should do, so obviously we want everything to be at the right standard, like every engine that we've got has to be at the same standard and supported and active and alive. So what's our next step? Is our next step to get the community to comment on whether maybe some more contributors could help with that engine, or maybe people are using it desperately and so using it in critical situations, so therefore we need to apply more pressure? Or what do you think? What should we do?
Yeah, I think it would be good to get some comments from the community. Are you using this? Yes or no? Is it production? Yes or no? Is there any reasons why you preferred raw file over the other host path?
Yeah, maybe what we do is we open an issue around raw file prior to so that if the issue is not do we take an action on it, the issue is just getting community feedback on the usefulness of this, and if there are any the usefulness of it, if there are any problems or any contribution desires there or something. So just maybe that's the first thing that we do, and then if it looks like this is really important to the project, then we do everything that we can to keep it in. But otherwise, we can go back to the project maintainer, the sub-project maintainer, speak to them, and then try to cooperatively work out a solution. And maybe that solution is keep it in there as experimental. Maybe the solution is move it to archive just while the sub-project maintainer is doing work on it. Or maybe the solution is that we remove that from OpenEBS.
Yeah, just as a note, I did send a few messages on different platforms to the sub-project maintainer, and I haven't gotten a reply. So
I guess
I'll
we do
try.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do it. We can do it in GitHub.
We did actually, Tiago did on GitHub as well. So if you see the link that I have pasted in the chat, it's an actual discussion thread that we had. It's been open for like 6 months or so. Haven't seen any movement on it, and also the maintainer is not seeing, it's not replying to those threads. Yeah, I guess that's where the state is at the moment.
Yeah, I mean this meeting that we've got today, this one that we're recording right now, is the right forum to bring that up, is to show it, just to remind. There's so much that happens on GitHub, people miss things, and we want to make sure people are very aware of it. Okay, so I guess our ask then is that GitHub issue, community issues 49, where I guess our ask then is that we want the community to comment on that issue. If they've got strong feelings that they really want us to keep raw file in the active OpenEBS engine collection, then let us know. If they don't care, then just do nothing. If they actively want us to remove it, then let us know as well. I think that's Abhinandan. That's what that's our request. Am I right on that?
Yes, yes, Ed. Do you think we should have a time line for that? I mean, because I see already it's been like 6 months or so. But what do you guys think?
I agree. And maybe given it 6 months, maybe we give it 2 weeks. And if there's no response in 2 weeks, we close it. If the sub-project maintainer responds to us and wants to do something, then obviously we can extend it out, because we want to be as cooperative and as inclusive as possible. But maybe we give it 2 weeks, the same with the commercial support.
I agree on the 2 week, time boxing it to the next 2 weeks, and we could revisit this issue on the maintenance meeting that we have next week. Yeah.
That's a really good idea. So it could get decided then. If it's 2 weeks, the next maintainers meeting is on Wednesday the 14th or 15th or something like that of November. Actually, that's during KubeCon, but even so,
Yeah.
at that meeting or the meeting after, you could make a decision on these two issues. Maybe it should be 3 weeks until, was it the 21
Yeah,
or
maybe we
Yeah.
could skip the archival decision. Maybe we should do it after the KubeCon, just in case we get some feedback during the KubeCon, because we would be attending it.
yeah, Wednesday the 20th.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
So Tiago, would you want to put a comment out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tiago, over to you. I'll be quiet.
Yeah, just gonna say, yeah, we can share it on Slack. We can update the issue again, the issue 49 as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I guess those are our current communication forums today, right? It's just Slack and GitHub. Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah, that's good.
Sounds good to me.
Agreed.
All right, so moving on from raw file, is there any other topic anyone wants to bring up for discussion? So I have one. The OpenEBS OEPs or OpenEBS enhancement proposals has been slightly redefined, and I will now be able to resume work on the first OpenEBS enhancement proposal, which I had raised on the OpenEBS repo about specifying images used by an OpenEBS chart. And eventually that will be useful for things like air-gapped installations, etc. So from now on, just as a note for the community, that if there is any feature you want to bring or any suggestion, ideally OEPs will be the first point where we can start discussion and engage with the community. And hopefully that will make things a lot more visible going forward in terms of what proposals they are for enhancements, etc. For things like bug fixes or very tiny features, we don't need an OEP for those.
Thank you, Tiago, for your work on the OEPs. It's a really, really important thing, and helping make it simpler for folks to contribute back is it's really rewarding for us, and it's the least that we can do to people who want to spend their time with us.
Yeah. Also, on another matter, engaged related to visibility and issues on GitHub, we have been going through all the tickets across all the repos and assigning milestones, etc. And we hope we're not fully done yet, but we hope that once we've gone through all of the issues on all the repos, we're gonna create a much better backlog of bug fixes, feature enhancements, documentation, etc. And that should be very visible on GitHub as a project. So I believe that will also make things a lot easier for the community, because today I think it's a little bit difficult for someone to come in and have a look at the tickets. They see a bug, they don't know when is it due, etc., etc. So please bear with us. We're not there yet, but we are working towards it. And once we're done, visibility should be vastly improved, I hope.
Yeah, I think we will be moving towards the GitHub project Kanban style board, right? For
Yep.
for
Yep.
one place
Yep.
view of the whole thing. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's coming.
I think Vishnu was working on it, but he's not on the meeting today because of Diwali. So maybe on the next one, we'll have some more updates.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just reading the OEP documents, and they look really good. So thank you for adding those. I think that'll be really helpful.
No, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, well done, Tiago.
Well, I just tweaked the existing ones that were already in place. That was a little bit confusing. But I think the main difference now is that we're going to be focusing on raising OEPs a lot more for adding new features.
How do you pronounce? Is it OEP or OEP, or what's the correct pronunciation?
I don't know. I know Kubernetes has the caps, but I don't know how they actually pronounce that one. Is it cap or is it KEP?
It is an acronym here. It's taking after Kubernetes enhancement proposals. So we are calling ours OpenEBS enhancement proposals. So you can pronounce it however you like. They're all valid pronunciations.
Right. Tell that to the pedantic folks.
This is an inclusive community.
Yeah.
I think maybe EEP is better. Like it's either OEP. So yeah, I agree. I understand. You're absolutely right. It is but yeah, we could refer to it as an EEP. Let's have an EEP for that. Don't know. Let's see if that one flies.
I'm leaning more towards OEP now that I've heard you enunciate it. Yeah. 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 On that note, I would like to congratulate everyone here that the recent changes to the project's governance has been well received on the tag storage platform, where we have moved to Sandbox again. We are a Sandbox project again, and yeah, that's congratulations to us, I suppose. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and thanks Simon for the help on the on the ticket.
Oh, no worries. No, at least we could do. So
That was a really sweet comment from Microsoft. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.
By the way, correct me if I'm wrong, Simon, but you're not going to Salt Lake, right?
No, I'm not. We've got a few other members of the team going, so it would be great if they can meet up with you if you're out there.
Oh, cool. Yeah, then we should set something up, definitely.
Yep.
Yeah, I pinged Alex to initiate something because he was on the call with. I'm not going to mention the person's name on the community, but just some people from Microsoft we've been dealing with. And if I go to KubeCon, I'm not sure yet, but if I go to KubeCon, then I'll come along as well.
Yeah, cool. Hopefully we'll have someone come and say hi. We had someone come by the booth on the last KubeCon.
Do you guys have a booth this year in Salt Lake?
Datacore has a booth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so that's sponsoring the commercial. Well, it's hosting some members of the OpenEBS open source team, but also doing double duty, also just talking about the different products and commercial offerings for OpenEBS that data core provides. So it's kind of doing double duty there. And that booth number is Q14.
Great. I'll ask the Microsoft or the rest of my team to stop by at some point.
Awesome.
We even have cool giveaways as well.
We'll find out.
Do they have donkeys on them? Yeah, anyways.
It's a surprise. We can't divulge.
I think, isn't it, Tiago, is that, I keep calling it a donkey, but you guys keep correcting me that it's a mule,
Yeah,
not a donkey.
it's a mule. Yeah, it's a mule.
It's a high-tech mule with antennas as well.
Oh no, that's an alternate one, isn't it? Does the actual
Yeah.
mule have antennas as well?
No, it does not.
No.
It's a regular
Yeah.
mule.
Yeah, it's a regular mule. Yeah.
You know, the one if you go to OpenEBS, that mule on the homepage of the GitHub has definitely got an antenna.
Oh, it does in the middle, right? That thing. Yes.
Yeah. Or a
Yes.
joystick or something. I don't know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking of a different one. There's a different one.
Maintainers, if that's all the issues that we've got, shall we go ahead and close the meeting?
I've just got one question that I didn't think of earlier. Regarding Node Disk Manager. So I believe that is getting or has been deprecated. And I'm just wondering if you are thinking of a replacement, or do you have any thoughts around filling the gap that leaves?
Well, I'm not sure if as exact replacement, but we have been, or we had one discussion about needing something in some way similar to NDM to help us manage storage across all the nodes.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that would be, I guess, yeah, some way similar to NDM.
Yeah,
Because we've, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just curious if if you've given any thoughts to or have any plans around that at the moment. We use
No plans at the moment. Yeah.
But we're not quite sure what the future of it will be.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's all I had. Thank you.
All right, rest of the folks. Anything else?
Nothing from me. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Okay. Thanks everyone.
Happy holidays.
Happy Diwali.
Yeah, thanks.